Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris Chavez here at Phandroid.com here with the Moto X Pure Edition. Ordered it back when pre-orders first became available, and then it actually arrived last night. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick unboxing, show you guys what's in the box, and maybe a quick hardware overview on some of the Moto X specs and pricing and all that stuff and where you can buy it. So let's go ahead and crack them in the box. I've already gotten rid of the vacuum sealing plastic stuff that was in it, and you can see here, standard stuff. You have the Moto X. I ordered the white version with the gunmetal trim and accents and the black leather back. I have been playing with it since last night, so the leather is already getting a little, I don't know if you can see that, but it gets a little bit funky. What else is in the box? You got your documentation, just normal instructions and all that fun stuff that I just ripped. And let's see what's in there. The Horween leather, which is the option I chose. Pretty awesome. Moto X Pure Edition readme and just regular old pamphlet stuff. There is a SIM tool for popping out that SIM card, which you'll need to do in order to gain access to the micro SD card slot. The SIM and the micro SD card slot occupy the same space, which is kind of neat. So you have your SD card there. On the other side, you have your nano SIM. So pretty interesting stuff. Oh, so they do give you a bumper case, which is kind of interesting. You don't really see that too much from manufacturers. It's got like a film around it. It's pretty neat because it doesn't cover up the like the leather trim or the wood back that you might get, or the options or whatever, and it gives you a little more grip on the sides where there's normal just aluminum. And it makes for a very non-stick, it's like a non-stick pan, Teflon. It makes it very, very slippery in your hand. So let's see here, just slide it in there. I don't think I'm doing this right, but yeah, I'm sure there's a little effort to it, but that's what it would look like, I guess, if you had it on there. Yeah, there you go. So front to back. Still exposes the back, gives you a little lip around the front, so it has that lay-on table design. Pretty neat, and pretty cool that they actually include it with the phone, which is already kind of affordably priced as it is. There is a turbocharger, which we've seen pretty much comes down in all the Motorola phones lately that have fast charging. The difference between this one is that it's, I don't know if it outputs more power than your traditional one, but the Moto X Pure Edition is the fastest charging phone on the planet right now. I think Motorola says it gives you 10 hours of talk time or 10 hours of usage after just 15 minutes of charging. But you'll have to probably use this charger here, which is strangely connected to permanently to the charger itself. Really odd, but cool. So the Moto X, this is it. I'm gonna go and peel off this plastic. It's got a 5.7-inch quad HD display. It's IPS, and so it's not AMOLED anymore like it was on some of the previous models. This year, Motorola kind of moved away from AMOLED to just traditional LCD. But it's IPS, which is nice. There's Gorilla Glass 3 covering it, so it's pretty strong. Stereo front-facing speakers right here on the front, which are very, very loud. I mean, this is surprisingly a very, very loud phone with the stereo front-facing speakers. On the back, you have a 21-megapixel camera. Motorola says it's industry-leading because they've kind of, before it even came out, they gave it to some of these photography sites and stuff, and they reviewed the camera versus some of these other smartphone cameras, and this came out like number 3 of the top 3, so it's pretty darn good. It's got phase detection, autofocus, closed loop processing, night mode, 1080p video at 60 frames per second, and 4K video shooting at 30 frames per second, and then video in HDR as well, so that's pretty neat. 5-megapixel wide angle lens on the front, so that means you can fit more things into the shot. Let's go ahead and open it up. Here's me. Pretty neat, so more people can get into your selfies. This thing is also powered by a Snapdragon 808 hexa-core processor, which is pretty cool because it's not the Snapdragon 810, which is on, like say the 1M9 or the 1 Plus 2. Those ones tend to overheat. It's just not really too crazy about the 810. I'm not sure if this was like a cost-cutting measure or whatever, or they just heard some of the negative stuff about the 810, but yeah, 808 processor, 3 gigabytes of RAM. It comes in 3 different storage configurations. There's a 16 gigabyte, or 32 gigabyte for $50 more, or 64 gigabytes for $100 more. There is a micro SD card slot, which is on top, and I already showed you guys that. It's got a 3,000 milliamp hour battery, which they say is, it's an all-day battery, and it seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, I've been using this phone all morning, and on my Nexus 6 it dies pretty quickly, but this seems to be doing really, really well. Would have liked to have seen a bigger battery, but I guess that's going to be fine. Radio bands, it supports all US carriers, which is really nice. So it comes unlocked and it supports all carriers in the US, so you can just pop in any SIM and it'll work just fine. And the best part is that there is NFC. So unlike the OnePlus 2, which is around $350, you can get a Moto X Pure Edition for about $350, 32 gigabytes instead of 64 gigabytes, and be paying around the same price, and you get NFC, so a little compromise there. There's a bunch of different trim levels. You can get the white on silver like I got, or white on gold, and then the black fronts only come with like a gunmetal trim area there. And there's a bunch of different accent colors. I believe there's 8 or 7 different accents. And again, Moto X Pure Edition priced at $400 for the 16 gigabyte model, and then it goes up from there depending on what you like. Wood backs are an additional $25, and leather is the same, $25 more. So that's just a quick look and unboxing with the Moto X Pure Edition with Phandroid.com. I'm Chris Chavez. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.